With Escape Room, you wrote the script. Did you also pitch yourself as being the director, or was that something that came later?
Right off the bat, I always knew I wanted to write and direct. I'd done that with all my short films. But directing in the feature world is very tricky. Investors like their pool of people. Unless you have a theatrically distributed feature under your belt with named talent, you're usually not going to get on their list. Even if you've done amazing shorts, it's just not going to happen. I won't say that's every investor out there, but just in my experience, I've had people say, hey, we love your reels. We love your short films. It's not going to happen. I hope you understand. And I go, it's your money. Of course I understand. I mean, you need to work with people that you're confident can handle a feature and whatnot. Anyways, so I knew I needed to put myself in a position where I had some leverage if I was ever going to direct one of my own scripts, we'll say. So Escape Room comes around, and the guys love the script, and one of the producers says, I want to direct it. And I said, no deal. I said, I direct it, or it's no deal. I gambled, and I was willing to gamble. Just like gambling with money in Vegas, if it's money that you can afford to lose, then gamble it. Same thing was with film. I was willing to lose the deal over it. It wasn't a bluff, because I knew that was my best shot in years to actually direct a feature. And if I passed it up and just sold them the script, I'm back at playing the game I've been playing for years, is trying to get myself in a position to do it again. So I gambled. I said, it's me or it's a no-go. And he kind of looked down at the table for a minute, and then he looked back up. He goes, okay. So I said, great. So he, of course, had to take me to eventually what would be the production company and the sales agents in one. And they had to sign off for me also. But I had one meeting with them, and I'd been doing shorts for years, so I knew what I was talking about. I wasn't trying to bluff my way into directing a feature. I knew it was of a scale that I could handle. I wasn't in over my head, answered all their questions, and was confident, all the things you should be in a business meeting. And after one fairly brief meeting, the agreement was made, and we were off and ready to go. And that's the same. Not every script I write, I would make the same gamble. I would make the same move. Some of my scripts aren't passion projects. I'm just writing them to be sold. But I do have some that I would say the same thing again, and I wouldn't be bluffing. It's me, or I'll keep it on the shelf. So not everyone will be forced to be in that position, but that's where you get into the situation where I want to direct this. I'll max out my credit cards. They won't give it to me. I'm just going to do it myself. Right. So luckily I didn't have to go down that route. But anyways, I engineered a situation where I could not force my way in, but use what little leverage I had to my advantage. And luckily it panned out.
And where was the film shot? Where did you film it?
By and large, it was shot in Burbank, local.
Oh, great.
We had a good portion of the film. I wanted to write something that could be done relatively inexpensive. So a good portion of the film is inside an escape room. And so they built one on a stage. In this building, they built it in a camera house that was still open for business. It was a camera rental house is what it was. We had a little stage, and we shot some scenes with Skeet Ulrich and all these guys in the hallways out there also, in a building that was open for business. So people would be leaving their office and walk through the shot. It was incredible. I was just like, I wasn't prepared for that. You just roll with it. What are you going to do? But it was this building right next to the Burbank airport. So we had planes flying overhead all the time, ruining our shots. So we had to deal with that also. And then we had some desert shots that were shot out in Lancaster and some other various locations. But by and large, it was local, because it was all designed to be. I wanted to write something that was just relatively speaking, was just the easiest thing to produce. What's the most attractive thing I can make for investors? This is something that can be shot real quick for very little money, high concept, good hook. Why wouldn't we produce it? I was just trying to give them everything you could give them and reduce the amount of no's that they could possibly come up with.
That's pretty cool. Wow. So it's just like these green lights that just happen with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, I didn't know what would happen after that. I was like, wow, here I am. I've been working my whole life. I've got a movie playing in theaters. I was like, that's great. And I was like, it's a small movie, so I don't know what attention I'm going to get. But as I mentioned before, no agency called, no management company called. I did get press, but not like Hollywood Reporter. Like, it didn't really do that much for me. So I didn't know what to expect. As I said, the fight never ends. So I've got a bunch of feature deals that are pending right now. They're in pre-production, they're in development. One's locking up distribution. Not a one of them stemmed from Escape Room. Those were other deals that I've just kept up the fight, kept out there going, just grinding away. You know, so it's an interesting profession we've chosen. You never know what you're going to get. Again, as I said, I'm even keel about it. I'm always working on new projects, and I'll never stop. And I'm not surprised that Escape Room didn't open up the floodgates for me, and I'm actually okay with it. You just kind of keep going. Every day you keep going, and I've been doing it for so many years now that it's all I know. But all the more reason for beginner directors and beginner writers to prepare themselves for that. Like, the fight kind of is endless. It's kind of forever. And I think for most of us, for me, the fight is part of what we love about the business, because not all of us can do what it is that we do. To me, it's kind of a privilege to be able to say that not only do you survive the business, but you thrive in it. So that's, you kind of grasp onto the positive aspects of it and just keep going.